Hey everybody, it's Kate Richburg in full order filling mode. Look, this is no frills Friday for me today. Miranda put on lipstick for you folks, but me, no, not at all. It's great to have you all here today. I thought it would be fun just to take a little pause, show you a little bit around what we've got going on here, give you some tips. I wish Christine was here to help me out, but it's gonna be fun. So yeah, thank you, Tina. You folks are really, really sweet. This is me sweaty running around, but you should see the steps that I'm getting in, my friends. So it's all good. It's really great to have you all here on this Free Tip Friday. We've had a really fun week. We've gotten things organized. Orders now are really so, it's great. We're getting more and more organized. I'm going to share some organization and some more layers of organization with you folks. I think you'll love it. Oh, you folks, you're being so, so kind. Thank you. Thank you so much. Kim Crawford, I saw that you marked yourself safe with all that craziness going on in Florida. So I hope you and yours and all of your fellow Floridians are doing all okay. So hopefully that storm didn't impact you too much. It was great. Yes, Jeanette, my tiny cup of coffee. Yes, Jeanette, this is my Nespresso. Those of you who came to our bead retreat this past August, I set up a coffee bar for everyone. We had it all set up. I had my Nespresso and I made everyone morning lattes with flavors and swirled milk. It was really, really fun. So I like to see I just like a little tiny coffee. So this might be my third. I'm not sure. I can neither confirm or deny. My mom, yes, did visit this week. Not only doing this, I had a good friend of mine from high school who's also friends with Christine, my friend Susan. She was here for a visit. She got to play around in my sewing room during the day. And in the evenings, we did a lot of crafting and stuff. She taught me about English paper piecing, which I think you folks are going to benefit from that, especially you folks who are coming to my clothing retreat in the south of France. More on that soon. That's going to be a lot of fun. I'm returning to France next year. We're going to do some embellishing, some clothing making, and I see English paper piecing playing a big part in what we're going to be doing there. Let's see. People are sharing more news. Let's see. I do, Mel, we're all pretty happy here, and what are you going to do? You got to be happy with your lot in life because the opposite, it's no good. So wherever we are, wherever we're standing, we try and have some joy for sure. Let's see what else we've got. Thank you. Well, Karen, how about without further ado, why don't we share some of the new bead shop home with you folks? I gave Janice a tour. I guess it must have been last week. I'd sent her photos and stuff, but we spent some time on on FaceTime and I kind of shared some things with her. So let me share it with all of you. Let me add my camera in. And one of the main things, and this is going to be kind of walking around. So I hope that you folks won't be too what do I want to say? Car sick, I guess, when I do this. Let me see if I can connect our device. Good, we're there. Let me add that. And there we are. Okay, look, how meta is that? There I am, right there. So hopefully you'll be able to hear me okay. Let me do this. Okay, so there's Miranda over there. She's filling like a villain there. And here I am behind my where I film. You can see one of the things, my friends, and this is one of the things when Christine and I were talking about organization and tips for organization and stuff, that everything needs to have its place, right? Well, slowly but surely, things are finding their places here. So you can see here's the counter behind where I film, and things are getting organized down there in bins, stuff like that. So as long as everything has a home, we're doing pretty well. Someone gave me this. I did not give that to myself. But you can see, so that's where I do the filming. You can see, then I move the lights, the studio lights out of the way. But you can see I've got some prettiness going on there. Our tote bag from our bead retreat. Here is where the magic happens, where the shipping magic happens. So you can see also the secret, I think, my friends, and I'm not seeing any of your comments right now, so I'll go back and look at the comments after I finish walking around. The thing about this is, friends, that when you're doing shipping, and this is not my first rodeo, back in 1996 when we started beadshop.com, we were filling and shipping orders way back in the late 90s, which was kind of amazing. And then we continued to do it. Then when I left, I worked for Beachcation for a bit. We filled a bunch of orders. We set up our fulfillment center there. So setting up fulfillment centers is not something that's not new for me. How is my voice? You know what? I'm realizing if I'm way across the room, you might not be able to hear me. So let me get back to, I'm going to put in, let me go to this. I'm going to put in my earbuds. Hang on a second. Let me go to here. Let me see if I can connect to those, because I realize the microphone is in the computer, not in, there we go. Let me see. Am I connected? Can you folks still hear me okay? Okay. I've got that earbud in, so we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Okay. All right. So having a space for everything and everything in its place, right? So, I mean, it's small. This is just like maybe 100 square feet, 10 by 10, maybe right here. But there's a place for everything. There's room. There's open surfaces. There's, things are labeled. So I think that's half the battle, right? Is having a place, a home for everything. So over here, and it's getting there slowly but surely, we still have bins that we have to sort out, but it's pretty easy to fill from those. We've got our drawers for some things, clasps and buttons and everything are organized there. Over here, we've organized charms. We still have some empty bins that we have to fill. But everything, even if it's temporary, we have labeled, right? So we can find it. The other thing that we're utilizing, these Metro racks are really fantastic. The other thing we're utilizing is we're using the sides of these Metro racks to hang things. So like my beloved shadows, those things are all there. So I got a bunch of hooks and we're using those. That was a Christine idea. We're using those to hang. So all the rest of the metal beads will be there. And then I've got some more room to hang things over here. Here's my fancy desk, right? My desk is just my grandparents' old dining table. We've got some gear underneath there. I have pushed all of that. There's our photo cube where we take our photos. So all of that has a place. So now let's take a look. All of the chain over here is organized. So we've got the chain by name. All of the different finishes are in there. So chain is good. This is all still in progress right here. This business, this is kind of open season. So we're putting things there that we, need to move around, stuff like that. Miranda's over here with all the glass. Ooh. So there she is. She's filling an order as we speak. So right now the glass is in bins, right? And it's in by type. Some of them are alphabetized, some are not really. But you get a feel for kind of where everything is. But all of these bins are eventually going to be a little more organized so we can get to those SKUs even faster. But it's looking pretty good. Okay. So now here, back here, we've got our CKC. Everything is in bins by color. They need to be re-tagged. What I'm doing with leather is kind of interesting. But what I'm doing is we're doing it like we did it in the old space, our old office. I'm going to do everything on the wall by name. So this is all going to be backstop. I'm going to take that out, put it up top, and just have the spools out. So it'll be faster and easier. But it's pretty fast and easy now. Bead Shop Studio stuff lives over here. Monthly mixes live over here. And here we have like wire. I'm going to put up more pegboard comes up. So the wire will eventually be on the wall. Soflex, things like that. So it's easier to grab and go. Okay. I'm sorry the lights, that doesn't look so pretty, but it will eventually. Then here's Seed Bead Blend, Miyuki. And Miyuki is all done by size and done by ranges. So here you can see, like with our ADOT, it's going to be easy to go grab in. Miranda's partner, JoJo, is always on the lookout for really cool stuff. So JoJo found us all of these bins, all these plastic bins that you see, were courtesy of my buddy JoJo, my studio neighbor. She has that. And you know her. You've seen me talk about her before. She's got the great sewing machine, Seams Perfect Sew. If you're into vintage sewing machines, vintage industrial machines, she's your lady. But you'll see more about her stuff when we do a tour of our spot, of our studio spot. So here's going to be more threads. I thought I would put the ADOTs here, but I'm going to pull those out. They're going to go there. So these are small bins. Look how cute these little bins are. But they're perfect for like little. I'm trying to get myself. Not very but those be great for threads, stuff like that. Then back here, CKC, tools, everything has a place. So it's good. Here's my second desk. Is our cart. Upcoming things for drops, upcoming things, stuff that needs to be put into stock over there. So we're in pretty good shape. It's interesting in my mind, and I'm going to come back over here. It's interesting in my mind. Let me see. Let me do this. To think about the space. Where's my coffee? Here it is. It's not this space that we have here at 650 square feet. And you have to think about when you organize. So regardless of what size your space is that you have at home, your studio space, think about it, not only as surface, but going up on the walls, hanging things on the walls, making sure that everything really has a home, even if it's just a tiny little home that's, has a label on it. I think it's always easier because this I just toss in here, has a label, it tosses in there. This has a label, toss in there. So that's why all of these racks, I've got these let me show you. And if you have wire racks or whatever in your studio, you can get these little things. They're like for Metro racks. They go on here and you can like name everything, right? So everything will have, a title where everything is. So, but we still need some layers of organization, like the bins, the stuff is in. Sometimes it's alphabetized as we're going through and as we're filling, we kind of know in our heads, oh, that bead is always towards the back, that one's towards the front. So we're getting faster and faster. But we've got little dividers. So dividers need to be put in, more labels need to be put on. But the layers of organization, you can't do everything all at the same time, right? So we had to get a working layer, right? And then sometimes as we go or as I'm filling, we'll stop and we'll go, you know what? Oh, we just have to stop, organize something real quick so it'll make it faster, right? So sometimes we have to stop, take a breath, organize that bin real quick, and then move on. As I was walking around, and that's a great question, Maggie, so I'm going to get back to it. Let me oh, my Christine, you are here. I was hoping you'd be here. Oh my goodness. Christine, you are the one who set us on the road to this. Let me see. We can do this. Okay. Yeah, good. Okay, great. I'm just looking for, yes, it was Team Bead Shop, right? So the square footage, that 100 square feet was just that little shipping area. This whole spot is 650 square feet. This was our garage. So I knew that I thought it was going to be my personal studio, but who knew? It's the bead shop studio. And now I've got my personal studio somewhere else, which is all that much better. My commute is amazing. Janice, I think you talked about the leather. We do have some of those little packets, those silicone packets or whatever. So that's good. That helps. Also, keeping them kind of away from sunlight also helps, right? Sorry, Maggie, if I went so fast. I know. I hope I didn't make you car sick. Let me see. Kim, we just shipped your order. Let's see here. Just looking through. Okay. So Maggie, your question here. For overall organizing, did I design and plan out the space, or was it more of an improvised organic process? It was a little bit of both, Maggie, for sure. You know, what happened was we got all of our stuff, 75 boxes, 2 pallets, 1,500 pounds of product. And in my mind, I'd been thinking about this for a long time, for like months. We decided to make this move a few months ago. So I started ruminating it in my head. And I knew that I needed some storage bins. In our old offices, what we did was we had a pegboard. So we had hooks. And so we'd have everything on hooks like this, right? Which was great for filling. But when we got our shipments in and we had to we put them into stock on the back end of our computer, and then we kind of had to put them into stock in the store, right? And ready to pull. Putting all of that stuff on hooks took a lot of time. So I thought, that's one thing I don't want to do. I want bins so we can dump and go. And I want something that's easy and fast to pull out and fill. So we went to bins, but I was worried that bins was going to take up too much space. So, but dividing those bins, labeling those bins so it's really clear, that was really helpful. Some things, though, I do want on the wall. I want like the leather on the wall so I can see it, so I can scan it really fast. It's alphabetical order and it's fast and easy to cut. Other things on the wall, like the wire. The wire's all on hooks on the wall so we can pull it and fill it quickly. So some things work better in bins, some things work better on the wall. Then what I did was I measured. So let me show you what I'm talking about. This back wall that's here, right? That back wall, I measured. And I figured, and then I measured the racks that I had in mind. And I kind of guessed how many racks would fit right? And I kind of marked it out. I wanted enough aisle space so 2 people could be in the aisles. And then I knew we had to have some walk room. So I kind of sketched that out a little bit. I knew that we needed a certain amount for fulfillment. I knew that we needed a little niche for like things. Let me show you this, just as a reminder over here. So I use those Metro racks, and you can see here, I made the shelves big enough. So we've got 8, 2, 4, 6, 8 of those drawers, right? And so that's a lot of SKUs in those drawers. And those drawers hold, like, let's say that we'll have the Evolves, right? We'll have the Evolves in 2 colorways in one drawer with a divider in between it. Okay. Tina, what I have in the plastic boxes under the long piece of furniture. Oh, are you talking about right here? Or maybe the chain over there? But this is let me show you down here. This is all of my like personal design beads and stuff. Let me see if I can, zoom. There we go. So you can see I need to get permanent labels on there, but that's all of like my bead shop stock to work with and stuff. So that's there. And then I've got more of that underneath there. Look I've got the new bead spinner. I've got one to play around and figure out how to use it. That's down there. And then the drawers, thank you, Christine. Everything is organized mostly and stuff in these drawers. And then the drawers in the back have all of this stuff here. So, but I was not responsible for that. That was all Christine. Let me see more questions here. Let me see. Scrolling through. Oh, yeah, the chain was there. So where we wrap and get ready for mailing, let me show you what that looks like, Kathleen. Let me get in there and I'll show you. So where we wrap, what Miranda's doing now is we've got all the orders are in order down there. And what Miranda does, what we do.
First I empty my pocket.
That's right, she empties the pocket. But you can see that we set everything, what Miranda's doing there. She's putting all the components from that order. And then we lay it out right there. So we do what we call a round of filling, right? So I want to make sure that I'm showing anyone's address. But like with this order here, we're filling 2 orders. We're combining this order. So we've got this one here, and then we've got this one below to fill. So we fill it, we bag it, we fold it up nicely, we'll put it all together, and then we just put it out. Like again, I want to cover this. This is Kathy's order right here, but it's ready to go. So we line them all up here, line them up, you can see. Then we check them, we fill them, then we go through, we recheck mark them, we check them. Then you can see we've got our baggies and stuff there, we've got our little labels and stickers in there. We wrap them all, and then they go in. Once they're wrapped, they go in this bin right here, right? Wrap. They line up right here. Then either Miranda or I take them out, we weigh them, and we ship them. Chris is going to be shipping again soon. That was his purview, but right now he's packaging. See, we've got our little label sticking out of the drawer there. And then they go in the bin, and then at the end of the day, the bin goes to the post office. So that's it. We've got all of our baggies here. We've got our tissue paper and stuff here. So yeah, it's all, see, and here's our mailers all here. We've got some Halloween bags ready to send you. So yeah, it's all in a pretty small footprint, but it all has to be organized. That's the secret, right? You need room to work, right? We don't want your things to fall down behind something or not be together in a bin or things like that. So if you are doing any, what do I want to say? If you're doing any of your own fulfillment, let's say that you're, selling jewelry, or even I know some of you sell beads, things like that. Having space, don't have a space that's completely full, right? Because you'll have no room to work. So you need space, you need um, open counters, things like that. Thank you, Christine, for reiterating that over and over. She's like, girl, you need space to work. You need space to work. And that's true. You need space to wrap, to make things look nice so that you're not piled up with all of your little orders and orders fall behind something or whatever. So, you're your own little factory. Let's see so Tina, my own personal seed beads, that's always a fight. So I'll tell you what I do. This is my own personal seed bead storage right here. 8/0 seed beads, they're in a bin. And here they are in tubes. It's not that glamorous, but at least they are sorted by size. 11s, 15s, etc., etc. So that's it. My tool rack caddy thing. It might be Cindy Brooke. Is it this right here? Is it that? That was a tool rack that I got. I don't know. Lisa may still carry them. Whoops. And wouldn't you know, I just spilled my coffee on the floor. Good job. It's right here. Look. Wah, wah. It's all right. I know it's my signature. Whatever. It was almost empty. Thanks, Miranda. Another dose of Bead Shop Realness by Kate Richburg. There it is. Sorry about that. That might have been a Beaducation product, maybe way back in the day. It's a little thing that kind of looks like that. But I've made some of my own out of like heavy duty screen that you can bend. I've made some out of that. Let's see. Organizing my tool. Pam, I'll tell you, I think organizing your tubes of seed bead by size works for me. Though color may work for you, but usually when I'm working, I want like all 8/0 or all whatever sizes. So mine, I think that's what works for me so far. Let's see some more. Let me see. Cindy's saying she organizes her seed bead by size and then color. 3-drawer organizers from Target, which I think are very handy. I've got some drawer organizers here somewhere. I know. I'm looking to see. I have them for tools, and I used to use them for thread a lot, but that works out really well. Let's see what else we've got. Oh, we're trying. Margaret Sloan, we are trying to get our turnaround time faster and faster, but we're getting there. So I promise you, my friends, we're getting faster and faster, better and better. Miranda has all of this handled. As soon as we have that catch up, because we have that backlog, we didn't ship for like almost 3 weeks while you folks were ordering. So we've got about a 3-week backlog, but we're setting our daily goals. We're getting through it. So we really appreciate it. We will normalize. So I really, really, we really appreciate your patience with us. Yes. Margaret Sloan just said, Miranda to the rescue.
Our number one fan.
That's right. Let's see. I'm looking to see some more questions here. Oh, and JoJo's here. Are your ears burning, JoJo? We were talking about your machines. JoJo says she's made a plier storage out of spice racks and copper wire. I'll show you sometime. I'd love to see that. Maybe I can share a picture with everybody. Let's see. Lorraine, thank you. Lorraine has shared this with us. I think what you're all doing is so impressive and inspirational.
Oh,
Yeah, you know what? This is a real moment. I'm going to tear up a little
they're
bit.
so extra nice.
This has been not easy. Um, it's was a decision that we made because we needed to have our things near us, right? We're a small business, super small, and even smaller now. But we really felt, I mean, and we're very grateful to our fulfillment center. You know, it got us where we needed to go. It got me moved out and here back to Fresno. But there was just a little bit lacking in, you know, that our hands weren't on our product. And so I feel it was a hard decision, but we had to make it. And that transition super scary. It's still scary. I'm still like, oh yeah, yeah. But words like this, Lorraine, thank you. You know, these women and one amazing man, hi Chris, we're getting it done, right? So we're doing our best. And a big thank you to Janice. You know, she runs things so well behind the scenes. So putting that stock in, getting that stock, talking to our vendors. All I'm doing here is, you know, counting steps on my watch. So so we're doing it. We can. Thank you, Debbie. Debbie says women can handle this with flair and class. It is for sure.
Real hard.
Right. And Kim, thank you. Kim says, oh, JP, it's good, right? And she's got one more idea for inventory. I love it. Let's see. Kim says, I missed all the little notes on the receipts. Yeah, we did too. Yeah. And no, our fulfillment center, Kathleen, was states away from us. It was states and states away. So I was not in the same room with our product for over 2 years. And I had to do just like you folks did. You know, order it, and all the new product would come to me though for quality control and all of that. But then it went to fulfillment, and then our orders all went there. So yeah, it's kind of a whole new thing, right? That we get that, you know, we're back with it. So it's awesome. Carol, thank you. Carol says, all you guys are awesome and very much appreciated. We really, really appreciate that. Thank you, Margaret, for your kind words. We try and wait until we start sending a few. Miranda has Halloween stickers. They're just waiting. They're waiting. So they're coming. So, but I wanted to share. Oh, and Jeanette, it's not too personal, but we have a business, you know, bead shop, Bead Happy LLC. We have all of our business stuff in order. We've got our business insurance, all of that. So yeah, it's all under a business umbrella here. So yeah, there's personal insurance, there's business insurance, and the two work together pretty well. So so yeah, so that was that. So when you have a business, you know, even more so when it's so close to your you know, when it's so close to home, right? Um, business is business and personal is personal. And I think that becomes even more important when your commute is just out your back door, right? So really take that seriously when you have a home-based business. You know, we have a PO box, you know, an official PO box, stuff like that. So all of that is really important, you know, and it's really what makes you sleep at night. What makes Janice and I sleep well at night is if all of the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed, right? And Emily, yes, I am too. I'm so glad that all the things are back in our hands. And hopefully, maybe, I'm not saying anything, but maybe Emily might be coming for a visit, maybe, and you might see us both in the same place, maybe, I don't know.
You're bad at big secrets.
I know I'm so bad at secrets. So that's it. Yep. Yeah, it was trust, right? You always have to worry about if your product, if your inventory, I mean, that's our biggest expense, right? Next to labor, right? Payroll. It's bigger expense, maybe. I don't know, hand in hand for sure. So, but we were very fortunate that they did a great job. It was great. It was just time for us to bring it home. We needed to be in control of our own destiny. Oh, what Leslie says, and thank you, Leslie. What she says, what she truly loves with Bead Shop is nothing is too much trouble. It's really true. I nothing is too much trouble. I mean, sometimes we may grumble a little bit. I'm not going to lie. But you know what? We grumble and we move on. Nothing is too much trouble, right? Because we're a small business. It's fun. We're able to, when you email us, you're emailing a person, right? You're not emailing an automatic mailbox, right? For sure. Let me see. Emily doesn't live far. She just lives up the valley. So Central Valley, we're in Fresno. Emily is more near Sacramento. So just about 3 hours away. So, and thank you, Maggie. Gosh, one of the things that separates us from all the others is that all your items are infused with your love, inspiration, and connection. You care and it matters. Thank you. Oh my goodness. We appreciate it. We've been selling beads for so long. That it's in our DNA, deep in our DNA. And we know when beads are good, when beads are bad, what beads to get for you, what beads to say, nope, not on our website. So, yes. And I already feel inspired for sure. I have I'll give you a little sneak peek. I'm working on the necklace for the Great Bead Extravaganza for next week. And I'm super inspired by it for sure. And so I think the designs and things will get even better and better because we're here with our stuff. So you'll see this piece drop next week. It's time for a Great Bead Extravaganza already, right? I can't believe it. That's coming up. So there'll be more about that in the newsletter next week. Third Thursday earring kits are going to be next Thursday as well. It's going to be a good companion piece to this Great Bead Extravaganza necklace. Yeah, so we're moving along. Let's see. All right. Well, this is a good question, Jeanette. Thanks. We mentioned that we test beads for color integrity. I can tell you a little bit more about that for sure. Sorry, I need to get a tissue because someone made me cry. So again, another dose of realness right here. Let me see if I can make it into the basket. TGB, I think so. It's next week already. Let me double check the date here. Yeah, it is. It starts with our preview party on the 18th and it goes Saturday and Sunday. Crazy. It goes so fast. So color testing, one of the things, we do wear them. A lot of things we wear and we try. We also are very vendor loyal. So if something goes wrong, like we've had beads that, like the coating sometimes, like on seed beads, or even we had trouble sometimes with Checkmate's tiles, the coating rubs off, whatever. You tell us as a customer, we right away, Janice is on the horn talking to vendors going, hey, this is rubbing off. This isn't good. This isn't bad. This isn't working. So we try and remedy that if we find out. And then we share it with you, the customer. It's like, we're closing these out and this is why, or we just take them off and we send them back. Other way that we test, sometimes when I'm like cleaning beads or I get glass beads, I just give them a little wash, things like that. Color fastness, if dye and stuff like that doesn't come off out of the water, it's pretty color fast. Though the dyes and the way that they enhance beads now, enhanced in air quotes, has come a long way from like the 80s and 90s when we used to worry about like color enhancement on semi-precious stones. Sometimes you can just see it. The dye would just be sitting on top of the stone and we'd immerse it and all the dye would come off, and things like that. So especially things like iolite had that problem. Garnet had that problem. But it's become a lot better enhancement or stabilization of stones, because a lot of times stones, that's their natural color, but once they get exposed to the sunlight, things like that, the color starts to fade. So, a lot of times UV coatings, things like that are put on. So things are a lot better. Holes, hole sizes, that kind of stuff. But again, if you ever, pearls, Janice is saying pearls used to be notorious for that. We couldn't really carry a lot of colored pearls because that color would just, sweat right onto people's clothing. So we do try and test, but if you ever have an issue, we need to know, because we let our vendor know and we let the rest of our customers know. Sometimes things slip through, but we really, really try and make sure that everything is on the up and up. So let us know, reach out just on the other side of the horn with, and on that note, let me put this up because I jumped right into, where you can find us all over social. Hit us up at that email at info@beadshop.com. And I said I was going to make this short and sweet. It's already 11:15, so I've got to get back to work. I'm working, but I'm also resting a little bit now. Miranda's going to have to write me up. No, just kidding. I've got to give myself a stern talking to. All right. So that's it, my friends. Thank you ever so. Next week, I don't know something's flying around here. Let me tell you what's going on next week. I can't even tell you. I don't know. I got something coming up for you. I won't even check. Stay tuned to your newsletters. But I'll be back on Wednesday for our regular Wednesday broadcast. I'll be back with you on Thursday for our third Thursday earring kit. I'll be there Friday to preview our TGBE kit. Goes up on Friday. And then I'll be on with you Saturday for my TGBE segment. So that's it. Melanie is asking where Alfred is. We are wondering the same thing. He is slacking. He's usually out here in a chair, but I think he might be taking a nap. I don't know. All right. So you folks will be seeing your orders. Keep checking those emails. Keep checking the newsletter. We're giving you order updates as fast as we can. We're going to be caught up soon. So all of that shipping will normalize very, very soon for you folks. So that was my dose of Free Tip Friday realness for you all. Again, thank you for your support. I will see you next week. That's it. Have a fantastic weekend, everybody. All right. Appreciate all of your goodwill on this, and we'll talk to you all soon. Thanks, everybody.